Engineers who think they are artists just end up making bad art that is an overly complicated mess. That is a simplified comment from a neon artist I follow, and it resonated. Although I'm still proud of it, I can't deny that the Twisted Table came to exist because I just tried to throw every crazy element I could dream up at one table. Now, my life's ambition is not to be an artist. That's not the direction I'm headed, but on occasion designs I work on need to evoke an emotion. And that emotion shouldn't be bafflement at a confusing, overly engineered monstrosity. At least not all the time. And that brings us to the subject of this video. This is Raffi.
Talk right now. I'm doing art shit.
He's a business owner I follow, and from what I've seen, he's done an incredible job of building a valuable high-end candle brand. This isn't easy to do, and the requisite skills and techniques needed to pull it off would help me a lot with some future projects. So, knowing that I could benefit from association and advice, I joined one of his live streams and got the potential collaboration I was looking for. Raffi wants to make baguette bowl candles, but doesn't like any of the designs and quality that he's able to source, and asked me if I could come up with a baguette bowl design that was, to quote him, rustic and rich. This was my first attempt, and Raffi didn't like it. Too complicated. It seems this is an engineer's design, trying way too hard to be cool. My neon artist friend would probably agree. So I needed to come up with something simple that was just effortlessly rustic and rich. Now, trying to make something simple is hard for me, so this spent a lot of time in limbo. But the build you're watching is one of two concepts I eventually came up with. Once the segmented ends are smoothed to half circles, you end up with a very sleek and uncomplicated geometric shape. And I thought this fit with the highly polished brand this candle would be a part of. And it's close to a classic baguette bowl shape, so I thought it could still work. The shape of the lip at the top of the candle also allows it to hold more wax without becoming bulky, and more wax per candle is also very much on brand for Raffi. Bocote's tight and interesting grain pattern work well, I think, for this first design because there really isn't much exposed wood. And I thought that the vertical grain lines resulting from a baguette bowl cut from a tree trunk cross-section would also work well in this respect. So that's what I went with for the second attempt. This did mean I had cracks to deal with, so I filled those with clear epoxy. Now, up to this point, I've done my very best not to think about the material sourcing and production techniques that would be needed if Raffi decides to purchase these. It's hard enough to figure out what the thing should be, and I just had to worry about how to make lots of them later, if it even gets to that point. But I will say, Raffi sells a lot of candles. We're talking about hundreds, if not thousands. So if you have a production shop well suited to the task of manufacturing a revision of either of these designs, let me know in the comments where I can check you out. The challenge and story of me taking on a big production job would be cool, but it would be equally, if not more cool, to hook up a viewer with a big job and move on to something else. I've got plenty of stuff to do. The second concept abandons the polish of the first, opting instead for a hand-wrought look. This is much more traditional baguette bowl aesthetic, but I'm hoping that the grain selection and orientation telegraph that feeling of differentiated wealth in a simple yet distinct way that this project requires. I'd like to know what you guys think of these candles, and I also know that a lot of you do more design work for customers with vague requirements than I do, so insights on how you would have approached this would be appreciated. And if you're curious, the beauty shots of these candles were faked with string and epoxy. I didn't go as far as purchasing a wax melting setup. Thanks for watching.